live, so you're just gonna have to play with yourself. Hello, hello. Oh, just getting myself situated. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day. All right, just trying to get a little organized. Hi, Patty. How you doing? Have you had a good Sunday so far? I have a little bit of a mess in front of me that I have not dealt with yet, so we're gonna very much pick up right from where we left off on our last live. I did this one here. Hi, Sharon. Hey, Taters. How you doing? Oh, I'm glad. Dad was very, very happy to see us. It was nice to be able to get Mom up there. It was the first time that Mom's been up and been able to go up and see him in a couple of months, so it was really nice. So this is one of the tokens we started. I have to get some kind of filler. See the little dimple here in the middle? Trying to get the light to catch it right in there. So right now I'm just painting this side. We've got some keychains that we can paint. I've got a couple that we actually can resin today as well. So we can do those. Oh, yay! Taters, can you please remind me of your name? Because I know you, and I know you as Taters, but I know you too. Can you please remind me? I'm so sorry. Hi, Elaine. Single life and freedom again. Kimberly, thank you. Hi, love. I'm sorry. Hi, Paula. I'm really happy to hear that, Kimberly. Really, really happy to hear that you're enjoying life. That's wonderful. I'm so glad. So I hope you guys have all had a good start to your day. Thank you for being here for the reschedule when I wasn't able to be here yesterday. I appreciate you rolling with the punches with me. Thank you. And I am happy to be hanging with you today. So we'll paint for a couple hours. Sorry, I probably just stuck my shoulder in the camera there. We'll resin a couple things. I'm gonna varnish this one because this one hasn't been varnished yet. The reason I'm varnishing is because the wood being porous can release some bubbles into the resin. So I'm giving things a seal of varnish first to see how that impacts it. I'm proud of you, Kimberly. I'm going to keep calling you Taters because that's what I'm used to. But I'm proud of you for doing what's best for you and taking care of you. Planted green things today. Oh, that's nice. Yay for more green. Hi, Axel. How you doing, love? Good to see ya. Elaine's dotting bookmarks. Fantastic. At this point, show me I don't matter. Exactly. Right? People tell you who they are, and when they do, believe them, right? It sucks that you had to go through that, though. I'm sorry that had to happen, but I'm glad that you are okay and that you are enjoying some life. Nothing wrong with being single. Nothing wrong with being with somebody. As long as you are doing what makes you the happiest. That is important. I'm proud of you. All right, got the guidelines cleared off. I'm going to varnish this one, and then we will resin these two. This one is a replication of this design. So now I need to start coming up with some different designs on this. Let's see what we can do. Oh, and I put my resin stuff away. Hold on, let me grab my stuff. All right, got my gloves, got my lamp. Got my lamp, got the plug for the lamp, got my little tool, got my gloves, got my resin, and a lighter in case we have any bubbles to deal with. All right, now I need to cover back up with my blanket, and then I'm gonna catch up on what you guys are saying. Oh, let me scroll back. I'm going to catch up on comments here. Star Lady, I don't have a price for the keychains as of yet because these are a very, very, very new product to me. I have not, this is just tip of the iceberg experimentation at this particular point. So I don't have a price point set up yet. My goal is to have one set up by in the next couple of weeks as I paint more of these, but I don't have anything as of yet. You're welcome, Kimberly. Hi, Jan. As little tiles, they're wood. You can use them as whatever you want. So the varnish that I'm using, I use a couple different kinds. When I am sealing something that I want to have a matte finish, I use actually matte Mod Podge mixed 50-50 with water. So I like these little bottles that I get. You can get them at Walmart or at the dollar store here in Canada anyway. So I had this, and then I've got one of those big tubs of matte Mod Podge that you can get for like $10. So what I did is I emptied out half of this bottle into the big jug, filled it up with water, give it a really good shake. It spreads nicely. It doesn't go all filmy. It doesn't stay tacky. It seems like it dries out really well. And 2 or 3 coats of this, and I've got a wonderful matte varnish. So I love to use this for matte finishes. And then for gloss finishes, I use Liquitex gloss, medium, and varnish. So this is a dual duty. It will change matte and satin paints into a gloss paint. It can be helped to thin the paint, to make it more translucent, and it works as a varnish as well. So those are my 2 go-tos. I have used Folk Art gloss and satin varnishes, and no reason why I haven't gone back to there. I bought so many different ones to try that honestly I just need to use a bunch of them and see what works well. I hope that answers your question, Lightning Lizard Jewelry. It's good to see ya. Made me stronger. At the moment the house is quiet. My 3 oh, that's heaven. 3 fur babies piled around ya. Finally out of your funk. Yay! You use that color palette? Oh, Paula, I'm so glad. That's so wonderful. The color palette that Paula is talking about is this one. This is from my most recent pattern that I called Phoenix. So I have, this design, except for the edging. This design, if you want to learn how to paint this design, there is a downloadable step-by-step PDF pattern tutorial on my website. So it'll walk you through what tool sizes you need, everything like that. I use DIY mandala stone tools. I don't know if it's not going to come into view. It says DIY mandala stones there. You can get DIY mandala stones on Etsy, on DIYmandalastones.com, and on Amazon. And they come in all kinds of different sizes of ends, of round ends, to make all kinds of different size dots. So I use those. Those are my go-to. But what I do include in the pattern is a link to Erin Ridley has a fantastic tool conversion chart that will give you the measurements and the tool sizes of multiple different dotting tool sets that exist out there that you might be using. So if you want to learn how to paint this design, the pattern is available on my website. It's my fifth pattern, and I'm really I'm really pleased with that. I feel like I've kind of jumped over a little bit of a hump with getting 5 of them in there. So this is the 5th one. I am in the process of finishing the edging. You can see the dots there. I'm going to be adding a lot of gold detail over here on this as well. And then I need to finish and figure out what I'm going to do on the outer edge of this bowl. So right now it's just black. There's a part of me that says I might just paint this bottom part gold, or paint like just a couple rows of gold along the bottom. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we'll figure it out. I hope that you've enjoyed using the color palette. It's addictive, isn't it? Hi, Tracy. I know I'm really behind in comments here. Bear with me, you guys, as I scroll back and try and catch up here, okay? Shannon, you giving Stanley lots of kisses for us? Is it hard to learn Robin's Me? No, it's definitely not. It's nowhere near as hard as I expected it to be. I highly recommend jumping on my YouTube and watching a bunch of those videos. I've got over 100 videos on YouTube now, including a whole playlist of tutorials for basic designs. What I would recommend is jump on and watch some of those and see if you find that you're getting that urge to try it, right? Because if you are, guaranteed you'll be able to do this. Totally. There are so many incredible instructors out there that there are tons and tons of options for you. If you are just getting started, YouTube is where I started. YouTube is where I still find everything. Like everything I need, I find on YouTube pretty much. Yeah, I'm really happy that I actually have a channel there for people to help with. Axel, I don't even know right now. Trying to distract. Oh, Axel, I'm so sorry you're having a rough day. Is there anything we can do? I'm doing fine. Thank you. You didn't remove guidelines on the... Oh, no, Jen. You use UV resin from Resin Rockers. I've heard good things about Resin Rockers. Jenna Jagron's talked about them as well. Are you really happy with that resin? I know that was a lot of hellos, wasn't it, Sharon? Yeah, you can use, they're just little wood slices, so you could use them for whatever you want. I have no idea how you would, but I'm sure that there's a way. I hope that helps, Noko Book Lover. This is so happy. Right? Living as a phoenix now. Exactly. So yeah, I'm going to seal these with water. Now, whether they would work as little tiles like for a floor tile, but you could probably use them as a backsplash and just put lots of different varnishes on top. It's really about the varnish that you use and what you put over top of it at the back. But yeah, I'm sure you could. Oh, awesome, Elaine. That's cool. I'll definitely keep that one on my list. Thanks, Jan. Well, Axel, just know that we're here and we're sending you love. And if there's anything that we can do to support you, we're here. But if you're looking for a distraction, then fantastic. We are just at the start of this live. We are here until 4 o'clock Eastern today. 5 o'clock Eastern today, sorry. We just got started, so we've got a couple hours to hang out. So I'm happy to be a distraction for you for as long as you need it. Oh, thank you, Snowbird. That's so nice to hear. That makes me really happy to hear. Thank you. All right, so I need to varnish this eventually too to get that protected. But for now, let's varnish this one, and then we can resin these couple keychains. Now, I might have to go grab another brush. We'll see how this works. Hi, Sue. Did I learn this? Yeah, I learned this by watching a bunch of YouTube videos and lots of practice. So just a tiny bit of varnish is all I need. I figure next time I am out, I'm gonna run to like the Home Depot or Canadian Tire or something and get myself some wood putty, because I think the wood putty might be the good fix for the little dimple on the back of these discs. So again, I'm trying to, I don't know if you can see them very well, but you can kind of see it right here. You see that right there beside the tip of that? So that's just a little pinhole. And when I've painted on it before, it actually, the paint sinks into it. So then you end up with a little hole in your center dot or a hole in your paw print, whatever you put in the middle, which is frustrating, right? I know, isn't it cute? It turned out good, eh? And I think like we talked about, like these same colors, but on a box with just a tiny bit of the pink. And you know what I could even do? You know what might even be a better pink to use than this light pink is to go down a shade to this and use the multi-surface of the pink tourmaline. I bet you if I used that pink instead of that kind of baby pink, I bet you that would be a whole different ball game. Awesome, book lover. Right? Wouldn't that be cute? I'd put dog paw print stuff all over my backsplash too. I'm one of those. I love that idea though. That's so cool. And let me know if you have any questions, okay? Don't ever hesitate to shoot me a message on Facebook or on Instagram, and I will happily do my best to answer your questions. I don't have all the answers, but I will try. Do I take special requests? Not at this time. But I do take color suggestions that I will list in my shop. But at this particular point, I don't do any custom commissions quite yet. I'm looking at opening them up for some mugs, but I'm not 100% sure about that one yet. So that one hopefully will be coming in a little while. I feel like all of my electronics are overheating lately. Do you guys noticed anything like that lately? Like I just feel like all of my stuff is overheating. I wonder if it's my power bar. Oh well. Anyways, I'm sidetracked. Hi Carolyn, how you doing, love? You're most welcome, book lover. Awesome with the missed a word, I think, love. But hi. Happy to have you here. All right, so that needs to dry for a bit, but this one is already dry, so we can resin over top of this one. I'm not super knocked out over this design. It's okay. I don't think it goes with what's on the back, but it's all right. I'm not in love with it. I would count that as a custom order. So at this particular point, again, I can take the color suggestions, and I do write them down, but I can't guarantee at this time that I'm going to get to them. It's a very high likelihood that I'm going to use that color combination for some dog print keychains, but I can't promise. All right, so I'm just coaxing the resin over to the edge. This is a process called doming. And you push it just to the edge so that it doesn't go over the sides. So, yeah, I'm not knocked out over this particular design, but that's okay. And part of that, Kimberly, is just because at this particular point, I still have no idea about pricing either. So there's a bunch of stuff I need to get figured out before I can sell these keychains in any way. let alone as customs. So unfortunately, I still just have a little bit too much work ahead of me for that as of yet. And that could change in the future. All right, just taking a quick look for bubbles. I don't see any. What is that though? A drip of paint, that's fine. All right, so now we put the light over top. There we go. Let me scroll back. Missed you doing the purple, green, and blue one. Yes, absolutely. So the first one that I did, let's actually move it over here. So I did this design, right? The green one. So then I used, so these were the flash colors that I did on the back. It's the teal, the green, the purple, and the blue. And then used those on this side to mimic this design. So this one, cute, huh? The colors are so fun. Okay, good, that makes sense. They took me off chemo. Oh, Carolyn, I'm so sorry, love. Right? Good with it or not. Yeah. Oh, Carolyn, I'm sending you so much love. Oh, thanks, Kimberly. I do plan on getting them done soon as I can. Oh, Skywalker, how you doing? It's good to see you too. Sending love right back to you. How you been? Flash hasn't emailed you back yet? Oh, thanks, Elaine. Well, hopefully you'll hear from them. That would be nice. So, you guys, some of you guys might remember that I had done some resin pendants last year. Oh, here's another one of the Paw Print ones that I tried. You see the dip from the hole, the hole in the top of the Paw Print there. Even a little resin might work. But I used to make these, and I used to make the resin discs, and then I would paint them, and then I'd resin over top of them. And each time I poured this resin, I had to wait a minimum of 24 hours just for it to cure and harden, and then I had to wait a full 72 hours before I could paint on it. So these, and then I'd have to seal them, so it would be like a week-long process at least to get these pendants from start to finish. Whereas this is so fast. It's so fast, and it's so wonderful. So the other resin, I'll still be using it on like the larger pieces and stuff, but not on the little tiny ones where I can zip through them a little bit. Oh, you're so sweet, tapping the likes. That's so sweet. Oh, your birthday's next Sunday, Sue? That would be a great gift. Can't find the flash metallics? That's weird, eh? Carolyn, just know that we're sending you so much love, and we're here with you. I'm so sorry. All right, oops, gotta take the lid off. I don't know what to do to help, but I know that I can send you a ton of love. I'm really good at loving. Can't find it in the States either, I wonder. I haven't looked to see in Canada, so I'm not too sure. These are really cool under the resin though, eh? Like the resin like just magnifies and pumps up this color. So I've had a couple questions as to why I don't resin the sides as of yet. And to be brutally honest, I really like the feel of the texture of the raw wood on the side. As someone who likes to fiddle with different things in her hand, the change in the texture is quite nice. I find anyway. It's also nice to note that this is very light. The resin's nice and light. It doesn't feel super, super heavy. So these are just, like I said, the few starting off experiments. We're going to be painting a lot more of these. A lot. I've got a whole bunch of them sitting in my cabinet. The package that I ordered came with 60 of them, so we've got lots to play with. All right, that looks like that's done. All right, time to bake. Oh, Carolyn, I wish I was there to hug you. A great big hug. I'll have to look. I can have a look later. I just can't do it right now, but I can definitely take a look for you later. So I've only got the two that have, or I guess these two that we're curing right now are the only other two that are finished. So we've got this green one. Oops, that's way too close. This green one. And the nice spiral. And this one, it's not my favorite design, not a huge fan of it, but it's pretty. But I love this spiral. So I think they go kind of nicely together. So I think I'm probably going to do more of them of a really intricate design and then a nice spiral on the other side and see from that. But I really like the raw finish. So I am going to varnish the sides. But yeah, these are only number 3 and 4 that are completely finished. I've got 3 other keychains that are half finished. 4 other keychains that are half finished. And then, like I said, I've got a whole pile of them that are waiting to be painted. It's the soothing voice watching or watching dogs, but I'm getting sleepy. Yeah, Jan's exactly right. You're letting yourself just let go a little bit. Have a nice bit of... When you let yourself let go of all of that tension, or even some of it, right? You feel it. You feel it in your bones. Oh, sugar. So there's a bubble right there. So there's a little bubble there. So what I will probably do is I'll probably give this a little sand and I'll just put a little bit more on. But there is a little bit. You can kind of see it getting stuck right in there. So I'm going to do that, but a long time from now. All right, so now let's do this one. Let's see this dude resined. Trying to get you a little closer. This magnifying effect always kind of blows me away watching it spread like that. Isn't that crazy? It's so friggin' cool. God. We get to play with some cool stuff. So I figure after we resin these, we will set everything aside and we'll go back to the Phoenix plate and maybe even add some of the gold detail so that the center of the plate is almost done. And we'll add, maybe we'll do some of the edge as well. So we'll see. I keep waiting for the idea of what to do with the edge to come to me, and it hasn't come to me yet. So I'm thinking now it's going to come down to just trying a couple different things and seeing if there's anything that I like, and being okay with starting over and all of that goodness. Making sure that don't leave any pockets. I think we're good. All right, last one. Ooh, it would be beautiful with coral. Yes, that would be gorgeous. I will add that to the list. All right, so we now have 4 keychains finished. I really don't like this one. It's not my best work. That one I like. That one I'm not so much. But that's okay. It is what it is. All for new ideas, right? So now I can take this idea, whoop, whoop. I can take this idea, I could take this idea, and I can create a whole bunch of different patterns and designs. So it's all learning and experimentation, right? Doesn't ship to the States. Coral, mint, and fuchsia. Ooh, that's a really good one. Pretty Not Ditzy. I like your username. That's fun. Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot of both of your ideas, yours and Carolyn's, so that I've got that on the same page. I will add that to the list. That's very true. That's very, very true. Amazon Canada won't ship to the States. That's so strange. You'd think Amazon would be Amazon, but there must be duties and something. There must be something. All right. So these guys are now resined. Like, look how freaking quick that is. If I was to be using my other resin, I would be having to set up a whole section of my table where I didn't have to move stuff, and it would just be a lot. Oh, cool. Thanks, Lightning Lizard. Duties. Did I say that? Olive green, royal purple, sunshine yellow. Ooh. Screenshot. I bought a new book that says ridiculously good ideas, and I'm going to start going through all of my old notebooks and compiling all of the color suggestions that I've got into that book. And we're going to start working out of that book. Oh, sorry. Is that when I said duties? Yes. All I hear is, remember when Chandler went for the job? And he's like, duties, poo. Anybody remember that? Royal purple, sunshine yellow, ooh, light gray and yellow. Ooh. All right, screenshotting that as well, lightning lizard. Brilliant, brilliant. I love it. All right, you guys. Got 4 keychains done. Got a couple little fixes to do on the other 2, but for the most part, they're done. They are going to sit and harden for a little while. And I'm just going to quickly put this stuff away, and then we will do some work on, are we going to do the plate, or do we want to just paint something new? I think we're going to start on something new. We haven't done a paw print on a keychain, so why don't we take Tater's suggestion, and I will do one. Literally working on organizing a doom box while I listen. Yay! So you helped me help you. Fantastic. Oh, stupid doom boxes. I've got doom bags everywhere. Reusable shopping bags filled with all of the shit that I don't know where else I want to put it. Refuse to give you color combos. Ah, that was a bad day all around, Jan. That was a bad day all around. That had nothing to do with you. You just happened to be the one that did that suggested that. These guys turned out really nice and glassy too, and the doming worked around the hole, which means we have 5 more discs like this to paint. And I have old ones. Oh, that's what I should get. Hold on. It's in a drawer. Hold on. What are you doing, Audrey? Old things for inspo. So I have these ones that I did with my other resin, and well, they're a little gloppy on the back, but remember that one? That one cool. I gotta redo that one. I know, it's definitely gonna be a running thing, right? A doom box. So think of a junk drawer, but think of it as a junk drawer on steroids. Does that make sense? This one? So what I'm hoping to do is I'm actually hoping to get myself a hand sander soon so that I can sand the back of this, because this is old. Paint the new one, paint the other side, drill a hole so it'll actually go through properly, and go from there. Example, one of these was literally all the stuff that sat on my office desk for 2 years. Yes. The stuff that you don't get rid of, but you don't use it every day, and it just sits there until you maybe have time to go through it. You know, all the stuff that you'll get to one day, so you just put them in a bag for now. Yeah. And then that was one of the first sunflower attempts that I made too. So these ones I'm going to save, and I'm going to try and get a hand sander and sand that stuff off of it. If not, I'll repaint these ones on these other discs that I have, because they'll work out well. Yes, nowhere for it, and you never make or not even that you don't have anywhere for it, but you don't make the time to go through it and put stuff where it needs to be. Yeah. Assorted crafts, or baubles and cords that collect. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I have a bag full of receipts and paperwork. Yeah. No, don't have a Dremel yet. It'll come. It'll come. I love these though. These are so friggin' fun. But like I loved this one because I let the dots drip over the side too, which felt very Alice in Wonderland. So we're gonna play with a lot of this stuff. Stick a magnet on it and call it a day. That's possible. The edge is really, really bad though, and I'd have to stick 2 magnets on it to get it to stick out far enough. That if you ask me for a random item, yep, totally. Someone said, I need to know where this is. Perfect, that's in the bag with all the receipts. That's where I also have an old set of dotting tools. And it doesn't make any sense why it's there, but it's there. Yeah. Shame of clutter, exactly. Thank you, Gypsy. That's so kind. Oh, thank you. I'm really happy of what we've done so far, so I'm really excited to kind of flesh these out and do a lot more. So until then, Taters, are you still here? Kimberly? Let's start on a paw print keychain, and we will do the paw print keychain in the Phoenix colors. So, first thing we need to do is find our center. Sounds good, Jan. We'll be here. So I'm going to find my center. But first I have to sharpen my pencil for my guidelines. My watercolor pencil crayon. Broke on me the last time I used it. So now I do this a little bit more of a convoluted way. Yeah, need the glue gun is under the stack of papers. Half it. Exactly. Yes. That's okay, Kimberly. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I'm going to do the keychain right now for you. I'm going to start it anyway. I don't know when it'll get done, but I will start it. So we're going to do a paw print on with the a paw print with the Phoenix colors. So we's gonna do that now. So I'm just finding my center. Sugar. Oh, I should have gone here. Yes. Well, that was way too thick of a line. Whoopsie. It's all right. We're good. This line here, as long as I line it up, I can see that it's just checking to make sure my center is where it should be. In a good spot. And then I know where my center was. Laying massaging Maggie with one hand, holding your phone with the other, right? Oh, but the glue sticks are in the clear container on the second shelf, on the shelf behind the couch. Oh my God, yes. Jan, you're already back. That was quick. Where do those belong? In my sewing and glue box that's on the teal table. Right? We know where everything is supposed to go. Right? It's the fact that they never or rarely make it to where they're supposed to end up. Maggie must be so happy with that. I've always thought I was, but lately tactile is very soothing. Always thought it was auditory. Yeah. I used to use one of the stencils to find my center. I used to use one of these and just kind of place that on there and see. But because of the little knobby thing at the top, I found that a little more difficult. But as you guys know, and if you don't know me yet, what you will come to know is that I do not always do things the easy way. I do things what are, oops, easy and fun for me, but they don't always make a ton of sense the way I do things. So you kind of have to be in there, in it with me to say, you know what? I don't need to do it the way she does it. And that's okay, right? There's so many different ways to do this stuff, you guys. And some stuff you're going to find works for you, and some stuff you're just not going to find that it works as well, right? So play around with all of it. Figure out what makes you the most comfortable. Figure out what is enjoyable for you, because it needs to be enjoyable. If it's not enjoyable, it's not sustainable. If it's not enjoyable, you're not going to want to do it again, right? All right. So we've got our center. Oops. There we go. Honestly, embracing bins and clear boxes, yes. Sometimes even just, I find what can calm my anxiety around them is, at least if I can organize them and label them, the stuff doesn't have to make it to where it's supposed to be, right? It can just stay here. As long as I know where my stuff is, then that's okay, right? It's when I get to the point where I don't know where my stuff is anymore because it's gotten that bad, that's when I'm like, okay, I at least need to get some, at least need to take an inventory, right? Oh, I sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I think I'm done. If I knew where it was supposed to go, it would be there. I have no idea where things go. And that's the thing. There's two different things there, right? Or that's one of the big differences. The two differences, right, is it not making it to the place where it's supposed to go, even though it has one, or not having a place for it to go, right? I'm more of I have a place for it, or I can easily figure out a place for it. It just never makes it there. She's making really deep sighs in her sleep. Oh, and they're snuggled under your blanket. That's lovely. Oh, they're so happy. I've successfully kept the majority of things together, even if there are straggler pieces. That's wonderful. Good for you. That's wonderful. And that makes a big difference, right? Thank you for the bless yous. Hi, Anne. I'm scrolling back, catching up on I had to scroll back for my comments. Sorry. For nail art. This looks sketch with the spray can of gloss. Yeah. And that's the hard part too, right? When you realize how much space you're taking up with all of these extra things, it's really difficult to zone that in. I found that it's one of the reasons why I always liked living alone, is because I'm like, didn't matter. I know where my stuff is. You don't need to. You don't need to. But that means I didn't have a very welcoming home, right? It's like, you don't need to be comfortable here. I need to. Okay, people only used my resin once and now I can't get the lid off. Oh no. Any chance, which resin? Is it UV resin? Pair of pliers and twisting? Oh, that's a tough one. Is it like this, Patty? Does it look like this? His hobbies are more compact than mine. T&D books, video games, sketchbooks. Yeah, they are a little bit. Thank you for the blessed poos. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, what kind was it, Patty? where you mix both containers. Is there any chance that you swapped the lids by accident? Because that will happen. Snowbird, I converted a bedroom into my craft room. That's amazing. Yes. Creating yourself a space that you can just go to, right? That's your space. Oh, Patty, I hope you're able to get it open. I wonder if you could buy new bottles somewhere and cut those ones open so you don't lose the resin. A bedroom and living room and dining area. Leave them a small spot. I say all the time, you don't pay my bills, don't worry. Exactly, right? But I'm definitely I've had a lot of people tell me, like, you are not open to a relationship because you do not have stuff around your house that would be couple friendly. I'm like, I don't have anybody else that I need to make happy. Only me. You have a jar open and essentially stretchy rubber loop. Oh, good. That's a good one. Never had that. At least once a month you need to reorganize it. Yes. Yes. Right? We all get to that point, I think, right? Where we keep going and there's a certain level of mess that I like, right? But then at some point it's like, okay, I'm a little claustrophobic now. This is a little too much. Envirotex. Maybe I did. Oh, that sucks. You might be able to save the resin if you get yourself some different containers to put them in. But I don't know if there's any requirements for like how thick they need to be or if you can put them in glass or any of those sorts of things. That's the only thing I can think of, Patty. I'm so sorry. That sucks. I love my craft room. It's all nicely organized. My safe place. Yay. Oh, I love that, Sue. I love hearing that. That's so wonderful. All right, so we're going to do a paw print in the middle. So we are going to get started with some color. So we're going to start with yellow. Are we going to start with yellow? No. Yes. Pretty Nut did see my craft room is now storage-ish, needs to be cleaned out. And that happens too, right? That happens more often than we would like it to, I'm sure. Where it just gets taken over. The purple is going to be the paw print. I do the paw print last, though. I always start with the circle. I've got a couple ideas, Kimberly. Just thinking, okay. Did you see the smoke starting to fill the room because I was thinking too hard? Currently moved it all to my living room. There you go. But if I fall in love with it, I'm making a road trip. Fair enough. Fair enough. Shannon, are you still here? I saw you pop in and say hi. Not sure if you're still here or not, though. Oops. These ones are a little bit further apart than I'd like them to be, but that's okay. All right, so yellow's going in the center. Now we've got orange next. I know what we're gonna do here. One. Whoops, something's in that paint. There's a booger in there. There's definitely a paint booger in there. Let's see. Got it. Ding, paint booger. And we didn't even have to redo the dot. Magical, magical. All right, let me scroll back and catch up because I'm catching up. I'm falling behind, sorry. Super Sad needs rescuing. Oh, yay, Patty! Well done, Lightning Lizard. Spectacular. Maggie caught my arm in her paws. Oh, that's good therapy, isn't it? Curled up with a puppy. Got a nice calm heartbeat. She's helping to ground you. That's kind of cool, eh? Oh, I like that. Yep. Okay. From nail polish to pickle jars and resin, apparently. The fact that it worked on resin is incredibly impressive, right? 70 pounds of pure love. Oh, that's lovely. Sashiki, I am using acrylic paints. I'm using Deco Art Americana brand. Americana. I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. All right, so now I'm going to use a size 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 3. Okay. Thanks, Anne. Is that a white hair on the edge? That probably was. It probably was a cat hair. It's almost a guarantee that anything that you get from me has a cat hair buried in it somewhere. It's probably, as long as it's not screwing up the surface, I'm okay with it. But sometimes caught on the bottom in the varnish. Every once in a while that happens. It's why I used to have tweezers set aside all the time so that I could pick hairs out. That was literally the only reason I had a set of tweezers with me all the time. All right. So let's build this up. So again, this is the same color scheme from my pattern called Phoenix. And so we've got purples, orange, red, yellow, and then we're going to add some gold detail as well. And in the very center circle, once we are done this, we are going to put a paw print there in the center to finish it off somewhat like so. Now this is still a little tacky, so I'd probably put that back under the lamp again. Yes, pet glitter. Exactly, pet glitter. Right? It's everywhere. Show me your lucky charms. That's a great username. That's awesome. Right? Pet hair everywhere. It's just part of it. It's part of the process. Taking buddy fur on the bottom of your foot. No, it's wonderful. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so I'm going to... All right, we're going to try something here because I've got an idea. Okay, so we're going to do some walking dots. Okay, so I'm only going to do them on every other for now. Because then we'll do something different in the other ones. And I've got ideas. Pet glitter, right? Isn't it great? It is. It's a total struggle all the time. Right? That's brilliant, eh? All right, so I always do this, I almost always do all of one side first. I find that it helps me with my muscle memory, and I don't have to change the position of my hand over and over again. Like if I was painting on different sides of this, if I was over here, I'd have to paint it this way, and then I have to turn it this way. So I find that if I want that symmetry and that repetition to be as close to identical as possible, that by allowing my body to just keep traveling in that same direction all the time. Oh, thank you, Sarah. I'm so glad you like it. I'm definitely going to have to make more of these, aren't I? Thank you. Shotgun, this one's mine, all right. I will keep it aside for you, love. Oh, Lisa, that's so wonderful to hear. Thank you. All right. Now we're going to go to orange. Orange. Isn't it funny how just little words can remind you of something? Do you guys remember the movie Empire Records? If you do, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. When they are pulling M&Ms to see who gets to pick the music in the morning while they're getting ready on Rex Manning Day. Renee Zellweger pulls an M&M from the bag and calls out the color, and it's orange. I don't know why, but I always say orange that way now ever since that movie. That was such a good movie. God, I miss that movie. Lindy Lou, you totally should try it. It's so much fun. It's so incredibly soothing. I find it incredibly meditative. This is the thing that I ended up learning that made me enjoy getting out of bed in the morning. You know? And it's so much fun. I've got some free tutorials on my YouTube channel. I've got over 100 videos on my YouTube channel. It's all that's my YouTube, my Redbubble store, my website, my Facebook group. There's all that kinds of stuff is all linked in my bio. Check that out if you want to. But my YouTube channel specifically has a whole bunch of videos. I put all of my recordings of my TikTok lives there. And I have a playlist that is 2-hour-long live tutorials. So if that's helpful for you at all, then definitely do that. And otherwise, just start devouring a ton of content, watching a ton of YouTubes, Facebook Instagram, and come and hang out with me live anytime you want, because I'm happy to share anything that can help. Healing with Borka. Hello, how are you? It's so good to see you. Thanks, guys, for coming and hanging out. Holy cow, there's a whole bunch of you here. Hi. Hi, over 100 people. Yay, 2,500 likes. Holy shit. Thanks, guys. That's so lovely. Kath for Clay. Where did I get the keyring blanks? I got them off of Amazon. Orangey Gladys pet glitter, right? Hi, David. Thanks, Jan. Now I must have M&Ms in my life going to the kitchen, right? Yeah, these are really fun keychains. Really, 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 really fun to paint on. Oh, Olive, that's so nice to hear. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. That's so nice. Oh, that's so nice to hear, Lisa. Thank you. That's so kind. Well, it's a good thing, too, because the fact that I jump on here and start talking and don't shut up, it's a good thing my voice is good to listen to, eh? You need to get Skittles. Yes, it does look like Skittles, doesn't it, David? Yeah, totally does. Totally see that. Okay, so now we go to red. And that's going to take us to the edge for these ones. And you know what's coming after this, right? Like, you know. For those of you who don't know, I promise it's going to be worth sticking around to watch. Isn't it, though, healing with Borka? Sorry. It is. It's so healing. It's so healing and meditative. It slows my heartbeat. It slows my breathing. It slows my mind. It gives me something to focus on that is just enjoyable, right? And the thing to remember with this art form is if you are just learning it, you need to be kind to yourself as best as you can. Remind yourself, and when you are not able to remind yourself, you come to me and I will remind you, is that the reason that you're doing this is because it's supposed to be fun, right? It's supposed to be fun. And I am a broken record saying this, and I'm sure there's people on here who are going to be able to recite it word for word with what I'm going to say here. But when you follow the fun, when you follow the joy, you're going to want to do this more. And the more you do it, the more practice you're getting. And the more practice you get, then the faster your skills develop. So it's a win-win. This art form transformed my confidence. It transformed everything about me. It transformed my entire life. I used to work as a corporate trainer for car dealerships. And I came across this. I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do this all the time. So this is now my full-time job. You know, I'm so lucky that I get to do this. And I'm so lucky that you guys are here to support me in that. Audrey, stop scratching. Yeah, Janice, that was my mom in the picture with my dad. Yeah, that was my mom in the other chair, sitting down. Oh, and thank you for the rose, Anna Maria. That's so sweet. Oh, sorry, I'm behind on the comments. I had to refresh the post. Sorry, I just zoomed past me. Put a disclaimer in the packaging. Yeah, keychains are not edible. No eating. Oh, thank you, Eleni. Yeah, she does look young, doesn't she? Yeah, she definitely doesn't look her age at all. Definitely does not look her age. And she will be delighted to hear that. Hi, Donna. Oh, and thank you. I'm glad that that's helpful. This paint looks dull as hell. Audrey, stop it. She's scratching, sorry. It looks really, really dull, but it's not. It dries and is super, super, super shiny. So that is the gold we're going to use, and we are going to start over here. We're doing time for some swoops. I just searched for blank wood round keychains when I found them. I apologize that I can't share the link. I ordered them on my mom's account and I don't have that handy right now. Oh, nice long swoops. That was not enough paint. No, I need to switch tools. This will be better. This should be better anyway. Ah, much better. Advice on thinning paint. Now, I'm not the best one for advice on this, to be brutally honest, because I haven't done a lot of it. But what I do know intense, Katie, is that using pouring medium seems to be the way to go. Acrylic paints can be thinned a little bit with a bit of water, but not too much. So if you're using heavier bodied paints, then pouring medium is definitely where you want to go. Now, I have not come across any pouring medium that does not add a gloss finish. So if you are looking for something that is satin or matte, that is a question, unfortunately, that I don't know the answer to, of where to find that sort of stuff. But I hope, yeah, I don't know, maybe somebody else would have the answer for that. Thinning paints to maintain a matte finish. You're most welcome, Healing with Borka. Donna, I spent the first hour at the local dog rescue walking dogs today. That's wonderful, Donna. Could this design be done on tiles, like bathroom tiles? Oh, yeah, totally. Totally could. You're welcome. Makes a matte medium. Is it a thinning medium, though, or is it one of the gel? I guess maybe they have one that's a thin enough one, eh? And if that's the case, I'm totally going to get some of that. I never even thought to look at that, honestly. That's awesome, Kathy. Kath, sorry. Oh, thanks, Sherry. You're saying the same thing. That's awesome. Right now, it looks like the golden snitch. If the golden snitch was purple in the middle. Okay. So now we are gonna go now we're going in with the micro daughter. Oops. Yeah, and you can paint this on anything, right? As long as you have the paints to adhere to the surface, you can paint dot mandalas on absolutely anything that you want. It's about making sure that you've got the right paints for whatever surface you're painting on, right? Like if you're painting on glass or ceramic, then multi-surface or enamel paints or glass paints are the way to go. That's awesome, Sharon. Thank you. That's cool. Kathy's fine. Okay. Thank you. I use my paint straight from the bottle. I use Deco Art Americana, Folk Art Craft Smart. Most of them I use direct from the bottle. I thought of that too, Kimberly. I thought of that too. I've got so many ideas for stuff to do like that. That's crazy. Yeah, there's so many ideas. So many ideas. I'm very, very lopsided though. Good thing it's going to be pretty enough. Hi, Carrie. It's good to see you too. How you been? You're helping Sharon and playing Barb today. Minus the flip-flops and staplers. When I ordered, there was 60 in the package. But I've seen other listings for 40 and 20 as well. I personally had the 61. You're welcome, Lisa. Is this your new keychain? Not quite, but it can be one of the inspirations for it, Noreen, for sure. Are you liking these colors? This one, I have a feeling that Kimberly Taters will fight you for it. But that doesn't mean I won't do more. Yeah, but I live in Florida. I need my flip-flops. Today there are no mornings. I think there's a muse in my dining room. Suddenly I need my journal. Yes! Go for it. Very hectic with the children. I bet, love. I bet. It's so good to see you, though. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, thank you, Valerie. I'm so glad you like it. Too much back and forth, yeah. I know. I got a comment from Noreen. She's like, you best get these up on your site. I'm like, I'm working on it. I promise. But I don't take that instruction lightly. I want to get a whole bunch of these done. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm probably going to pick 2 or 3 different color schemes. And then just kind of see how they flesh out. Oh, it was wonderful to have you here, Pretty Not Ditzy. Thank you for joining. Thanks for coming to hang out. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you want to hang out with me live again sometime, I do post my live schedule every Sunday. I haven't done it yet. It will get done later today. But I try to go live a few times a week. And I go live here. I go live on Instagram. I go live on Facebook. So if you're ever in doubt, when I post my live schedule, I also pin it to the top of my profile. So if you, that is the surefire place to go and find my live schedule. If you're on Instagram, I have it in my highlights. So I will get this coming week's schedule up here shortly. Yeah, this didn't go the way that I wanted to. Because these are very off center. But we're going to go with it. We're going to keep going with it. And then we'll do a spiral on the back. Bye, pretty, not ditzy. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks, Jan. Yeah, my merch link is in my bio. I have downloadable step-by-step patterns, the link to my YouTube channel, my website for all my hand-painted stuff and for my patterns, and my Redbubble store, all that different stuff. It's all in the bio. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. Oh, thank you, Thread Meadows. Moving from Annapolis to Baltimore. Jess, I use acrylic paints. I use pretty much any brand I can get my hands on. I don't have a lot of love for Apple Barrel. But I am a big fan of Deco Art Americana. The Folk Art matte is actually really nice as well. And Craft Smart's okay, but it's a little watery and it tends to crack when it dries because it's a thinner paint. I'd say Deco Art Americana is my favorite right now. For painting on things like this, if I'm painting on mugs, like ceramic or glass, I'm a big fan of Craft Smart multi-surface paints. Okay, bear with me. I got to scroll back and catch up on the comments here. I know I'm behind. Have you ever thought about doing a keychain or other medium based off a sunflower? Well, yes, I have. Actually, one of the tutorials that I have on my YouTube channel is a step-by-step walkthrough of a sunflower pattern I did on a mug that could easily translate onto anything else. My very first sunflower-inspired attempt actually is sitting right next to me. This was my very first one that I did. This is one where I was just learning resin and I had no idea what I was doing, so it looks a little, but I'm going to recreate it. I've done a couple... I've done a few mugs that have the sunflower on them. I've done a candle holder and an incense holder as well, but I want to do more because I love those colors, Rachel. Love, love, love them. Oh, I'm so glad you found me too, Kimberly. Yeah, it still looks good, eh? It still looks good even though it's a little off center. I guess it really doesn't matter too much, which is kind of cool. You have to go, Anne? I hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow. It was wonderful to see you. Please take care of yourself. Not enjoying the commute, so you're moving. Wow, good for you. Sunflowers are your favorite, Rachel? They will definitely be something that I will be doing more of again in the future, for sure. I'll add them to the list. Oh, yeah, you have the sunflower pot, Noreen. That's right. I love that one. I love that sunflower pot. All right, time to add some gold. Let's bling it up and finish this bad boy off. So we are going to start way in here. Thank you, Rachel. The other sunflowers I did are way prettier than that one, though. Okay, I need a tinier tool. So, what's up, Audrey? don't ask her to do a vase. Oh, God. You know, when I did that big cleanup the other day, I found that vase. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's still here. And it's still here. I didn't get rid of it. Yeah, I started a hurricane vase, you guys, about, what, a year and a half ago now? Would have been in fall of 2020, wouldn't it? All right, let me scroll back. How about white gesso and using pearlescent like your mugs on a keychain? That's definitely possible. I'd have to get some white gesso though, and that's not in the budget right now, but that might come down the road for sure. Oh, sure, absolutely. So there's the whole keychain. Like so. Enjoy dinner, Sharon. I hope you have a wonderful night. Is that better, Rachel? You don't have to do that. Oh, Donna, that's so sweet. It's okay. I'll put it on my list. I'll get it. I have clear gesso. You know what? I have clear gesso and I've got really good white acrylic paint. So let me try that. Yeah, I want to say that it was... You're most welcome, Rachel. I want to say that it was October or November of 2020. Because I had just moved up to the farm and I was still painting in my bedroom at that point, I think. God, so much has changed in such a short amount of time. But it feels like it was ages ago. So where do I get my tools? So I'll show you the few different ones that I use. Bear with me one second here. The one that I'm using right now was actually a gift from my friend Jan here. They are clay sculpture tools. We call them micro dotters. They came in a set of two slightly different sizes. And then I use nail dotting stylus tools. And I also use these ones that have these that look like pencils. They come in all kinds of different sizes on the ends to make different size dots. These are from DIY Mandala Stones. Oh, let's turn it this way and zoom out a little. DIY Mandala Stones. And they're available, like Jan said, yes, Amazon, Etsy. Now, when I started doing this, I started with crochet hooks. I had a ton of crochet hooks because I was a crocheter, and I started by using the ends of those, the ends of pencils. You don't need to spend a ton of money to be able to do this. Drill bits, nails, anything that has a round and flat edge, pencils, anything that has a pointy edge, they're all going to work for you. Wooden dowels, drill bits, screws, toothpicks, barbecue skewers. The crochet hooks were my favorite. I went to Walmart and bought a bunch of the gray plastic ones, and they were my dotting tools for the longest time. Yes, Faye girl, isn't it lovely? So this color scheme is the same color scheme I used on my most recent pattern. So this is my most recent pattern that there is a step-by-step downloadable pattern for this design on my website. It's called Phoenix. It's my most recent pattern that I've done. And these colors, the first time I ever did this design, picture these, there's this 3 rows, right? We've got 1, we've got 2, and then we've got the outer 3. So I did the first 2 rows on an incense holder. And ever since I did that incense holder, we've talked many, many times about how I needed to recreate it and create a pattern from it. So that is what this one is from. I have this one and 4 other downloadable patterns available on my website. If you want to take a look, if you want to give them a shot. And then I've got a bunch of hand painted items on my site as well. A bunch of mugs, a bunch of different stuff. So if you want to check any of that stuff out, all the links are in my bio. You know where to find that stuff. You tagged Rachel in one of your replies while you were saying goodbye to Sharon, Jan. That's why, I think. Thanks, Noreen. Thanks, guys. That's okay. Oh, your screen froze up. That's not good. Is it better now? Is it okay now? So see how we're adding those little bits of gold detail? Right. Just little bits. Just brightens it up a little bit. All right. So now I am going to do a nice big swoop here. Not happy with that at all. This is where we're going to see the spacing difference. That's okay. The opposite sides are actually quite symmetrical. So we're going to do this one as a test, Kimberly. Oh, that looks good. Oh, I like it. Never mind. This is not a test. This one's good. We're good. We're good. All right, so now we are going to add a little gold here. Like so. All right, now we are going to do the paw print. And the paw print is going to go in the center, and it's going to be purple. For the tips on the swoops, Harlow, yes, I do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the paw print here, and then I'm going to grab my one of my test canvases, and I'll show you the tips that I feel like I can pass along for you, okay? Since it's mine, I love being self-identified. It's weird. It's perfect. I'm so glad you like it. Yay. No problem at all, Harlow. All right, so let's do the paw print here. So, start right here. So I do 3 dots, and then I join them together. And just start to move the paint around. Like so. That one's a little wonky there. All right. And now we do our toes. Time for the toes. And we have toe bean. And we have toe bean. And there we go. Now we got the paw. Oh, I think it looks good. What do you think, you guys? The purple's a little dark, but as it dries, I can always add a little bit of red on it. Or I could add gold if you want me to. But I think that purple is just friggin' gorgeous. And then what I'll do is on the other side is I will do, how about we'll do a spiral. Same colors, but we'll do a spiral with the gold detail on the other side. And I'll have a paw print on the other side as well. How about you know what I could do? What about on the other side? I could do a heart in the middle of the spiral. A heart on one side and a paw print on the other. What do you think? Do you like the paw thread, Meadows? Isn't it a nice darker purple? It's such a nice dark plum. It's so juicy. I want to do like a color grade with this purple. So it's not like a lilac purple, but much more of a plum color grade. I think that would be beautiful. This turned out well. Similar, yet different, but similar. Yay. Thank you, Sandog. Hi, Jerry Lynn. How you doing, love? I'm so glad you like it. Thanks, Patty. Dragonfly glaze. Oh, I haven't tried any dragonfly glaze yet. I really need to do it. Thank you, Noreen. I'm just scrolling back. Thank you, guys. I'm so glad you like it. Yay. Your life is complete. So what do you think? A heart on the other side? So yeah, Valerie, what I'm going to do is after it dries, I am going to put a very light coat of varnish on it. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is afterwards I'm going to resin it, okay? Now, when I resin, I had one that I did, and when I go right in here, see how there's those little bubbles in there? So our friend Jenna, J Grons here on TikTok, tons of resin work, absolutely friggin' gorgeous. She mentioned that these bubbles could be from the wood. Because the wood is porous, it can release some bubbles into the resin while it's curing. So since I have started putting a light coat of varnish on them before putting on the resin, this hasn't happened again. So that's kind of my hope for that. With two smaller paws, it's going to be, I'm going to have to test and see how small I can make these. I'm not sure. So I have some. I'm so sorry, Jan. I don't remember what we were talking about when you asked that question. You're good, tired, but alive. Well, that's a good thing. Oh, I like that. The curvy Dane. That would be beautiful. So I don't know if I could do two smaller ones. I'm worried that it wouldn't fit in there. No, I don't have dragonfly glaze. No, I've never tried it. But it would look beautiful, wouldn't it? It's on the list of things to try. All right, so what are we going to work on Either print or heart, both look great. Okay, I'll take a look and see once I get on the other side which one feels like it's gonna fit the best. But that'll be cool. I'll do a spiral, so we'll have some really nice spiral colors, and on the other side, and that'll look lovely. Yeah, the resin look is really nice, and like you said, it'll keep it protected, right? One of the things that, so I've used resin before, but I have only, up until recently, I've only ever used art resin, which is a wonderful, wonderful product. But the curing time is very long, so it doesn't work the greatest for small things like this, right? Because what I'd need to do, if I was to resin these, I would have to paint however many to make it worth my while to block off a section of a room as well, to tent off and make sure that it's dust free and everything. Have enough of them ready to mix some resin and get them all done. Pour the resin, leave it for 24 hours, actually 72 hours really, until it cured, then flip it over, do it again. It would be a lot of work, right? But the UV resin is a whole other story. This stuff is 10 minutes and it's hard as a rock. I definitely ship internationally. Yes, I'm going to show the swoops to Harlow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jan's keeping me on track. All right, here's my test canvas. Harlow, are you still here? Yeah, we'll do a different color. I think maybe gold would be nice on the other one in the middle of a spiral, because I'm going to be doing all just the color and then the gold details. So what if I did just like this? I did a purple dot with a gold paw print on it in the middle of the spiral. Oh, a yellow paw print would look cool too. It would be bright. Self-care yesterday, bone on one, accent nails, tiny paws on the other. That's fantastic. Oh, yay. Hi, Harlow. Okay, good. All right. So there's two different ways that you can do swoops. I'm going to show you the very first way that I ever did swoops. Okay. And we'll use the yellow so it's nice and bright and we can see what's going on here. I am going to give this paint a stir. First and foremost, make sure you give your paints a good stir. If you have clumpy or weird paint, like you know how sometimes after it's been sitting for a while, if you don't stir it, you've got some parts that are watery and some that's clumpy. It's all uneven texture, right? Make sure you're stirring your paints. I'm lazy. So I tend to try to get away with not stirring my paints as often as I should, and I pay for it every time. So let's give it a good stir. Almost every time, because I didn't actually pay for it on this last one because I didn't stir the yellow. So first, oh, there's a paint booger too that was stuck in there. Where'd that go? There it is. Got it. Gives you a chance to find any paint boogers, get them out. So, okay, first thing that you need is your dotting tool, whether it's one of these with a ball on the end. Doesn't really matter, okay? And then you need a sharp, sharp, sharp tool. Now, I recently got this one. We have a scoring and a puncture tool. The one on the right is the scoring tool. Oh, look at that nasty thumbnail. And the one on the left is the puncture tool. I got these at Dollar Tree for $1.50 for the set of two. And I really, really like them a lot. Now, what I was using before this, I actually had a pencil. I don't have it with me, but I had a pencil, and in the eraser, I stuck a sewing pin. So I was using the end of a pin to create these swoops. So I'm going to grab my pin, all paw prints. Ooh, that would be cool, Jan. All paw prints and the dot in the middle. Yeah. That would be really cool. That would be cool on a big piece, eh? I'd put that on my wall. I think I got to get on that. Sounds like something I need to jump on. go through all of my old canvases, find any large dots, and just start putting paw prints on everything that has a dot big enough. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Nothing but paw prints. It's about time I start catering these paintings to the pet lovers. So we can just start making everything with paw prints. You call them paint boogers too, Nikki? Fantastic. It's the best description because that's exactly what they are. They're clumpy. You don't always see them coming. They get in the way. They're hard to get rid of. And you have to flick them off. All right, so the first thing that you want to do when you're doing swoops is you want to have a lot of paint, okay? So this is one method, remember. So I'm going to put paint on the surface. I'm going to add even a little bit more paint by re-dipping my tool. And just make sure there's a lot of paint there, okay? Then what you're going to do is take your sharp tool and you're going to start to coax the paint down into the shape that you want it to go. So I usually start going down the middle, and then I'll start to kind of move the paint out from the side. I'm not trying to draw with the paint. I'm trying to coax the paint into the shape that I want it to go in. Now, this is the way I did all of my swoops for at least the first year and a half. Okay? So sometimes you need to grab some more paint from the top and fill in the bottom. Sometimes you have to turn it around. But just make sure you've got lots of paint there. And the smoother your surface, the easier this process is going to be for you. And that counts for the dragged swoops, what I'm going to show you next as well. I call these ones my shaped swoops. And then I've shaped that into a swoop. Okay? Now, if I want to do a dragged swoop, now if I was just doing a line of dots, okay, I would dip my tool and I would dot. I would dip my tool, I would dot. I would dip my tool, I would dot, right? Now, it's not a huge amount of paint, right? Not a huge amount. Now, if I'm going to do a swoop like this, the first thing I'm going to do is going to kind of really get my tool in there, and I want to, Rocks, our friend Molly, who is an incredible dot artist, mallrocks.co here on TikTok, she always says, dip to dot, scoop to swoop. Best description I ever heard. So Molly, thank you for that. So you kind of scoop a bunch of paint out. So see how much more paint I have on there? I'm going to place the tool on the surface and I'm going to slowly start to move it. The first time I saw people doing these, I tried to replicate it and I couldn't. I was so frustrated until the day that Art of Points, an incredible dot mandala artist on Instagram and here on TikTok as well, showed a real-time video on how slow that process for the swoops are. Okay, so the slower you go, the longer your swoop is going to be. So if I take that same amount of paint, same tool, and I start here, and see how much faster I went, see how short they are, right? Now, the other thing you can do is you can start to kind of draw with it a little. And then when you get to here, then you can start to slowly, slowly, slowly drag your tool. Right? So the thing that really is important is if your swoops aren't turning out the way that you want them to, the first thing to do, number one, make sure you're using enough paint. And number two, slow down. Even if you think you're going super slow, try going even slower. Okay? Does that help, Harlow? That makes sense? Okay, good. So the slower you go, the better. Okay? Now, the other thing that you can do to help yourself out is use guidelines, right? If you have a space that's like this, that's like this, right? Hang on, that's not the right spot. Here, let's do this. So let's say I was going like this, right? And I have that space to fill. leave that line there, right? Because it can help you. Oh, you're most welcome, Harlow. There is I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel as well on Swoops. So take a look at the tutorial playlist that I have on my YouTube channel. That might help you. So, right, I would set this one here. Then I can go over here and see how it's now all staying within that shape, right? So use guidelines as much as you need to help you build your shape, okay? There's no such thing as too many guidelines. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to draw some guidelines and you're not going to use them, right? I wish you had time to get into this. Maybe someday. Maybe someday, Kimberly. Hi, Christine. How you doing, love? How's the puppies? You've been dotting for a few years, but the swoops always look so messy. Can't wait to try again. Oh, well, let me know how you make out, okay? When in doubt, slow down. That's the biggest thing that I can ever recommend, okay? When in doubt, slow down. Make sure you've got enough paint, and make sure and prep your surface really well. Remembering that you're not going to have to go as slow on ceramic as you have to on wood, right? Make sure that you practice that so you get to know the different speeds and the different tools. I find that when I am dotting on wood or canvas, my tool sizes tend to be larger than when I'm painting on the mugs to get the same size of things. So, are you okay, Audrey? Are you hungry? You have to wait a few more minutes. I'm sorry. Make sure your surface is super smooth if you can, right? When you're painting on ceramics, that's a really, really nice surface. If you are painting on canvas or wood, do yourself the huge favor of sanding those surfaces down, and especially on canvas, using gesso, especially sanding on wood, okay? The fewer obstacles that you have in your way, like fibers from a canvas, wood grains, any uneven bits like that, try to eliminate those as best as you possibly can, okay? And especially for canvas, gesso will change your life. I went from hating painting canvases to being excited to do it again, right? Tend to do things fast. I totally get that, right? Because like, this should be faster. You will pick up your speed. Once you kind of get it down and you start to kind of get into that rhythm, your speed will pick up very, very quickly. I don't always go that slow now, and I don't always need to, right? So, yeah, just a lot of practice with that, and just know your speed will pick up. My base color, it depends on what I'm painting on, but I've really fallen in love with black gesso, so I do use a lot of black gesso for prepping almost everything. Now, what I'll do if I'm painting on wood first is I will do 1 or 2 coats of black acrylic paint on the wood, just because the wood is thirsty, right? So to make sure that that the wood doesn't soak up a bunch of gesso, because that's expensive stuff, right? So I'll usually put 1 or 2 coats of black acrylic paint, and then I'll put the gesso on there. One of the reasons I really like the gesso is I do find that it doesn't get chalky as much like black acrylic paint can. But yeah. How you do your paw and heart. So, sure. Absolutely. All right, so let me grab another color. Hi, Audrey. You all right? What are you doing? What's your problem? You have to wait. You have 10 minutes. You're fine. All right. Sorry while I negotiate with the cat. You're welcome, Lisa. I don't have the link anymore. I went in and I didn't see them the last time I looked for them, and it's on my mom's account, unfortunately. If I'm ever able to find them again, I'll share the link. But if you just search wood blank keychains, then you should come up with them. It's just a matter of how many. What I honestly think has happened is since Art of Point started painting them, I've bought them, Christine has bought them, a whole bunch of you guys have bought them, and I'm thinking we've bought them out of a lot of their stock. Yeah, feeding time is always negotiation. Yeah, I got mine on Amazon Canada, right? All right, so let's talk Paw Print. Sorry, I'm going to shake the camera. I apologize. All right, Paw Print. Couldn't find the same thing. It's hard to say. Now, Art of Points is in Germany, so there might be something. All right, let's talk Paw Print. Paw Print first. When I am looking at my center dot, right? My center dot always looks like I've got my center lines, right? And then I've got my circle, right? That I've blocked off. So when I place the very first dot, I place it right around the dead center. Okay? Are you heading out, Jan? Have a good rest of your day. So I place this one right on the center, and then I go in with a second dot just down and over to the side, and then down and over to the other side. Lots of paint, add lots and lots of paint. And then what I do is I go back in with the same tool that I did to shape my swoops, that puncture tool. I start to just kind of join these dots. I want to leave a little bit of a rounded, like I don't want it to be a perfectly straight line, right? So I try and kind of bring it out the side and then up the side a little bit. Oops. Right, like so. And then just slowly start to join those dots and then start to bring that paint into the center to fill it in. Now sometimes you might have to add more paint, and that's okay too. Okay, so you're left with this kind of weird triangle shape. And then you go in with your tool. Oops. And what I do is I try to imagine, again, my stuff is always on this line, right? Like I've got the lines drawn like this, right? So what I try to do is for these dots, I place them on either side of those lines, and I just try to make them a little bit longer. So I don't do a round dot, I kind of drag it up and down a little bit, right? And then I do it again, but over to the side. And I usually do them a little bit smaller, like so. It does look like a fidget spinner, didn't it? So the two top ones I make a little bit longer, and then I go there. Now, Buddy's whimpering, he's dreaming out loud. Oh, sleepy puppies. You're welcome. And then for a heart, imagine that midline again. Put a dot on either side, and then you can just start to bring that down. Right? And then just slowly start to have them cross over. My hearts aren't as not quite where I want them to be. They're still a little. Now you can also do really tiny hearts too. And this can be really fun. Okay, so let me show you a little teeny tiny heart. So let's go to a, so if I go really tiny here, I can go almost touching, right? And then ding, ding, Neat. A little tiny heart. I hope that helps. So the tools that I use, we'll go over this really quickly before I have to sign off. Thank you, Healing with Borka. So Custy Shore Lover, I will show you these tools before we sign off for the day. So I've got these ones that look like these white pencils. They have different sized ends to make different size dots. These are from DIY Mandala Stones. You can get them on Etsy. You can get them on Amazon as well. Please know you don't need fancy tools to do this. I started with crochet hooks. I went out and got a whole bunch of different crochet hooks that had round flat ends of a whole bunch of different sizes. And that's what I used for a very, very long time. If you are going to spend money on any kind of dotting tool, I highly recommend you spend the money on getting yourself some of these nail dotting stylus tools. The ones with the metal balls on the end, they're also clay sculpture tools. Some of them have these silicone brushes on the end, which are amazing for cleaning up paint when you've made a mistake. So like if I, for example, if I did a dot here that I didn't want, I could use this silicone brush and see how it pulls the paint off nicely. I still have to go over it with my base color, but at least it's a nice smooth surface, right? So I highly recommend, if you head over to dotartdepot.com, you can get these ones that have the ball stylus with the silicone brushes on the end. And you can use this code. If you spend $25 or more at dotartdepot.com, you can get 10% off. So you can get the acrylic rod tools are there as well, which are fantastic dotting tools. So these ones with the metal ball stylus. Now this set that I have, it's shorter, right? But each ball on each end is a different size. So there's a lot to be said for having a set of tools that have these duplicates, right? Or sorry, these multiple different sizes, I should say. So, and then I also recommend getting yourself a couple of these tools. I got these from Dollar Tree. It's a puncture and scoring tool. And then we'll go here. Right? Oh, you're getting a puppy next month. That's so exciting. What kind of puppy are you getting? Puppies are magic. Audrey is sitting in the hallway now screaming, hoping for somebody to feed her. Oh, I love her so much. I never anticipated loving having a cat as much as I love having her. Love to all of you guys as well. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. All of my information from my website, my YouTube channel, my Facebook group, my Redbubble store, my hand-painted items, all of that good stuff. The link is in my bio. I will be posting my live schedule for this week later on this evening. I will pin it to the top of my profile. So this is what we finished today. We did this one today. We poured some resin on this one today. Oh, I'm glad that was helpful. Yay. They really are the best, aren't they? The key rings are available on Amazon, but a 3-week delivery. There you go. Thanks, David. There we go. So we did that, and we resined this one as well. This is just a little disc. I got to get some wood putty to fill those holes. And then the only other update I have is last week I released my 5th pattern. I've got downloadable step-by-step patterns. This is the design of my most recent pattern. It's called Phoenix. And I've got 4 others on my website. So if you want to check those out, they are there for you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you guys so much for choosing to spend your free time here with me. I appreciate you so much. You guys coming and hanging out with me is why I am able to do this as my job. So thank you so much. I love you guys very, very much. And I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye, Christine. Bye, everybody. Thanks for a wonderful afternoon too, Patty. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I'm sending you so much love and huge, huge hugs. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.